And since I'm already irritated, I might as well get all of the blood pressure raising stories over all at once. As you are probably aware, despite Charlie Kirk's killer being arrested after admitting to his furry trans boyfriend, his family, and his internet community in 3 separate confessions that he was the one who shot Charlie Kirk, despite his own family being the ones to recognize that he was the killer and turn him in, despite him making no claims at any time that he is not the killer or that he is a patsy, despite no shadowy organization killing or even trying to kill him or his family like Oswald, despite a whole variety of DNA evidence that backs up his own confessions that he is the killer, despite reports from people who knew him saying that he was an extremely angry person who actually walked around all the time with tightly clenched fists, an assertion that is supported by photographic evidence, despite his clear motives as a gay man who was in love with a trans furry and had been highly radicalized online, where he hung out in highly radicalized groups. And despite the truly sick, no exaggeration here, silence of the lamb's smile on his face this week in court that tells you that you are looking into the face of pure evil. Despite all of that, conspiracy theories have continued to swirl. Conspiracies that have none of that evidence behind them, which accuse foreign governments, our government, Israel, of course, Turning Point USA, and even Charlie Kirk's widow of actually being the killer. And now this week, the CEO of Turning Point USA, Erica Kirk, has reached her breaking point over all of these dumb online conspiracy theories that are circulating more and more wildly and less logically about the assassination of her husband. On Wednesday, she torched the money-grubbing creators and pushers of these stupid conspiracy theories in an appearance on Fox News, where she was promoting her late husband's final posthumous book, Stop in the Name of God. She openly addressed the groundless rumors about herself, her friends, and her organization, saying that empty hypothesizing has led to an avalanche of real-life death threats and harassment, saying, "Call me what you want. Go down that rabbit hole, whatever. But when you go after my family, my Turning Point USA family, my Charlie Kirk Show family, when you go after the people that I love, and you're making hundreds and thousands of dollars every single episode going after the people that I love, because somehow they're in on this, no. This is righteous anger, because this is not okay. It's not healthy. This is a mind virus. Ever since Charlie Kirk was assassinated at a college event in Utah in September, his widow and Turning Point USA have been at the center of very low IQ conspiracy theories, despite the fact that his killer has been caught and is about to be tried. Yet in the name of making money, and yes, that is what this is all about, in the name of making money off of the still settling gravestone of someone that they claim to have cared about as a friend, these conspiracists, and I'm talking about the people who are making the conspiracy theories right now, not the people who have bought them, have heaped suspicion on a number of Charlie's closest loved ones and family members, including his grieving wife, Erica, the only parent that his 2 toddlers have left, thereby putting her in the crosshairs, for which I'm sure he would be real grateful to you. Erica said that even her jewelry, which she has now dubbed the conspiracy collection, has become the topic of debate. Despite the suspicion that snake oil salesmen have cast her way, and at Charlie's life's work, Turning Point USA, Erica says that she, the woman who forgave her husband's actual killer, also has compassion for the people who latch on to these conspiracies when they hear them, saying, you know what I thought? I thought, these people are human. We're all grieving in our own way. And they are trying to find the answer to something that happened that was so evil. They're trying so hard, and I get that. We are doing the same. So even though you're grieving in some pretty weird ways, she acknowledges that not all people grieve the same, something that unfortunately is not being extended to her. But she added that the conspiracies and the scrutiny have become too much for many of the people at Turning Point, saying, my team are not machines, and they are not robots. They are human. We have more death threats on our team and our side than I have ever seen. I have kidnapping threats. You name it, we have it. And my poor team is exhausted. Every time they bring this back up, what are we supposed to do? Relive that trauma all over again? They watched my husband get murdered. And when she's talking about the people bringing them up, she's talking about the creators and pushers who are profiteering off of this, not the people who are latching on to what they're saying. Although at some point you do have to be responsible for that decision. Erica and Turning Point USA had been silent about these conspiracies until they addressed them for the very first time last week, when the organization tackled them head on in a live stream. The organization even invited Candace Owens to join the podcast, the chief profiteer of Charlie's death, via her immediate conspiracies that I very much believe, based off of his loyalties, his recorded loyalties, he would have hated her for promoting. But conveniently and entirely unsurprisingly, Candace Owens said that she could not attend. Now, she can talk about it because she cares so much. She can smear the country that he was openly a huge supporter of with being responsible for his death. Even endanger Charlie's widow by stirring up nut jobs with her made-up theories. And all to make money because she cares so much about what happened to Charlie. But care enough to look his widow that you are doing that to in the eye and to be publicly called on your shit. And suddenly she doesn't care anymore. This week, Erica was adamant that Turning Point USA would not be distracted by these conspiracies from its mission and would continue to do the work that her husband began, saying, I'm not going to sit in a corner and cry and be in a fetal position. This is a duty to my husband, and it's an absolute honor, and I will never back down. And so my message to them is to stop. Now, for the record, Candace Owens said publicly that she would stop promoting these conspiracies about Turning Point USA if Erica Kirk asked her to. And now that Erica Kirk has asked her to, she has welshed like the performative, doe-eyed liar that she is, saying that Erica's request is, quote, an unbelievably emotional response that is absent of any logic, which is a clear distraction tactic on Candace's part. She said that she would stop if asked. She set the terms. She's been asked. She lied. So now, in the hopes that you will not see that she lied, she is trying to distract you into refocusing on whether or not this request meets her arbitrary standards of reasonableness, which has nothing to do with the fact that she promised to stop if asked, reasonable or otherwise. That was an empty promise, like everything else that she says and does. One that she only made to look good, while believing that she would never be called on to live up to it by doing good. Not that someone who patterns her life after Lucifer is capable of doing good. And yes, I am serious. Her life's behavior is a model of Satan's behavior, not Christ's. In the pride that is central to her core identity, she is unbearably jealous of people who are better than she is. And in her jealousy, she makes war on them and deceives the onlookers with cleverly twisted half-truths, all the while misquoting scripture and pretending to be an angel of light. But she is the devil. I got news for you. The real one does not have horns and a tail either. That's what makes them both dangerous. But I said all that I had to say about the fate that I pray to God in his consistent nature he will rain down on her life a few weeks ago. If you've listened to me for long, you know that I am not a Tucker Carlson fan either. But Tucker is just a con man. He would sell his mother, his country, and his soul to the highest bidder, in my opinion. But Candace is a Luciferian snake. And you could see signs of it from the first day she entered the public spotlight. I saw it. I fought against it because I thought it was unreasonable to see it. I fought against it and loyally tried to support her because she seemed to be doing some good for the conservative cause. I am never going to question my instincts that way again. That doesn't mean that they're flawless. But when there's warning signs, there's warning signs. And you should pay attention to those suspicions. So beware. Because when you hug the devil to your bosom, you get bit.